Hey friends, Sleepy here, and welcome to a brand new episode of my weekly gaming playlist series. We've made it to another Friday, so it's time to talk about the games that I've been playing this week, do a little overview. Of course, I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts as well, so if you've played any of the games I shared here today, let me know your thoughts on them. I always enjoy hearing about the games you guys are playing, as that gives me ideas and new games to play and experience. And I'm always looking for recommendations on games you think I might enjoy playing. You guys have recommended a lot of great games over the years of me doing this series, and I do appreciate it. This week I got one game to share with you guys, and it's for the Xbox One and Series X. And it's a game that I have not played since 2022, which I put like 25 hours into it then. This week, I put in a little over 15 more hours into the game, so I've been having a lot of fun with it, and that is the game called Biomutant, which was also released for the PlayStation 4 and the PC. Now, I've been having a lot of fun with this game, because this is an open-world, third-person action RPG that has like kung fu stuff in it, but also has melee weapons and also has guns in it, which is really cool. And you play as one of these creatures, and it's a post-apocalyptic world, so it's humans are all dead, they've ruined the planet, and all these creatures have mutated and they're able to speak and talk, and the world is starting to die off because of all the pollution and all the issues that humans have caused on the world. And so you're trying to either save the world or to help the world end. There's this big tree of life that's dying, and you have to go through the story to either save it or destroy it. So you can be either good or bad. So there are good and bad choices in the game. There's several different tribes that are aligned to different, whether they're good or they're bad. And you have to choose who you want to align with and go through the story that way. It's really cool. There's a lot of main stories to go through, but there's also a lot of side quests. Now, this game did get a lot of hate when it was first released. I saw a lot of bad reviews, and people just really didn't like the game. And I gave it a try, and I really had a lot of fun with it. And the thing is, I don't think people realize is this wasn't a AAA game. This is a AA game that was made by just a handful of people. So they did a really good job with such a small studio. And this is actually the first time of me playing it on the Xbox Series X. Because the last time I played it, I was on my Xbox One X. And the Series X makes it look really good, has really good performance. They've patched out and ironed out all the bugs that were in the game. There's still a few issues you may encounter, but they got rid of most of those thanks to the wonderful patches. So it's definitely a game worth checking out. So I'll read you guys from the back. Biomutant is an open-world, post-apocalyptic kung fu fable RPG with a unique martial arts-styled combat system allowing you to mix melee, shooting, and mutant ability action. A plague is ruining the land, and it's the Tree of Life. It's bleeding death from its roots. The tribes stand divided, explore a world in turmoil, and define its fate. Will you be the savior or lead it to an even darker destiny? So let's check out some of Biomutant.
How can something as beautiful as this be dying? A plague is ruining the land, but the tree of life still stands. Question is, for how long? End is coming to the new world. The tribes stand divided, in need of someone strong enough to unite them, or bring them all down. This is a story with an unusual beginning. So, let's expect an unusual end. Welcome to Biomutant.
Hey guys, today we're back with Biomutant. Now this is a game I've not played since 2022, so it's been 3 years. I got like 25 hours into the game, got pretty far, but I eventually stopped playing it as, you know, I can only play these large open world games for so long before I eventually start getting bored and need to change it up. But after all these years, I decided I'd like to go back and resume my game because I would like to finally beat this game, so I'm continuing my journey with it. So let's check it out. And this is actually the first time that I've been playing it on the Xbox Series X. Before this, I played it on my Xbox One X. So there is a big boost to the graphics for the Series X version here. So really beautiful graphics, the foliage, the water, just everything looks really good on the Series X. And I do have it on the quality mode, so they get the 4K. But you can put it performance mode where you get 2K with 60 frames per second, but I'm fine with how the game is looking so far. You have your map, which is a pretty decent sized world map for you to go through with all the various quests that are available. There's a variety of ways that you can get moved around with transportations. The game also has 6 different tribes, which there's good tribes and evil tribes, because there's a good and evil moral system to the game which you can align with, and so there's different tribes that you can become part of. I got your quests, because this is a third-person action RPG, so you have a whole bunch of main quests that you can take on, and then you also have a ton of side quests to do, which you don't have to do, but they can unlock stuff that you can use, plus it helps you level up, and then you can keep track of all the different quests that you've completed, which I've completed quite a few while playing. I still have a lot more to do myself. Decent menus too, I really enjoy. You got your thing you can check over your character, so you can level up. You have your basic RPG elements, your vitality, strength, intelligence, agility, charisma, and luck, and of course all of that affects your character and their stats and everything they do in the world. There's also Kung Fu in this game, which they call Wung Fu, which is cool. So there's different abilities for you to unlock, different kinds, and you unlock those as you play through the game and you learn new skills and stuff, and it shows you little tutorials on the different abilities that you unlock. There's also perks, which you can play as based on the different class you are. I'm a Psi Freak, so I'm a magic character, so there's a variety of different kind of characters you can play as well. Your mutation, so basically leveling up your character and adjusting different stats. And then your aura here is based on your good and evil, which I've got 64 light and 1 dark, and that's based on your choices of how you play through the game. You know, you want to play a really good character, you want to play an evil character, or do you want to play a gray character kind of in the middle? It's up to you, which is cool. They have all kinds of different gear and stuff you can wear, so you can have a variety of outfits. You can craft weapons and stuff, craft armor, you can upgrade the armor, so there's a lot of stuff for you to customize in the game, which is really cool. You also have a variety of outfits you can wear, so you guys can see my character if he doesn't have anything on, that's what he looks like. So you play as these, there's 6 different little of these species of these little creatures that you can play as. You can adjust the way they look, their head size and how tall and short they are, and adjust their color and everything, which is pretty cool. And then you can also do some preset uniforms and outfits, which I have different outfits that can protect me against different environmental hazards. You guys can see down below my protection. Some of those are at 100. If they're not at 100, there's different environmental damages that your character can take. If they're in an area that's too hot, they start taking heat damage. If they're in an area that has no air, they can't breathe, they'll start becoming asphyxiated. So you have to find equipment that can protect you against that. And I'm trying to get all of them up to 100%. I have one down there that's at 20 that I need to get upgraded. So really cool stuff. You also have this little automaton, which is your little creature, this little robot that's been with you, and he actually translates for you of all the people talking in the world. You got your little menu here, the settings, which there is a lot of settings, kind of like a PC game, which is pretty cool. So you have a huge variety of stuff that you can set, adjust it all to your own liking, you know, the basis on how the game looks, everything like that. So let's check out some gameplay here. And what I really like is cool is, since your character is an animal, he actually runs on all fours. So that's kind of cool. So when they run, you know, they run like that. But when they're not running, you know, they go up on 2 legs. So there is a lot of melee stuff, but you also can use ranged weapons and guns and stuff, and you can do a mixture of it. Since I am a magic user, I actually can...
No daylight left to waste.
I can actually use magic abilities, and you have a mana pool that you would use that will refill as you play. So, let me pause it real quick, guys, so I can get to combat, so I can show you guys what some of the combat is like in the game. Alright, real quick, I'm going to show you guys what it's like to talk to one of the NPCs. And this is cool too. When you enter a new area, it'll tell you what all the collectibles are and what the area is called. So you have a little check mark there and list to see if you're trying to get everything in the game. It'll tell you what all the loot and stuff is in the level and what to find in this area, which is pretty sweet. So that's really cool, is the game will point out when you meet important characters that you can interact with. So let's go talk to him real quick.
Choo Choo knew you would make it to him one day. All you had to do was follow the steel path. The rails might be getting rusty, but eventually they all converge on him. Says the name is Choo Choo, and he likes to ride the rails. Says you followed the rails to where you need to be, but tracks have switches in them too. The question is then, will you keep on the same track, or look for a way to hit that switch? You seem like you're on the right track already. He just hopes you don't get sidetracked onto a darker path. Whichever way you go, he wants you to know that the rails never steer you wrong. Stick to them, and they always bring you right to where you're meant to be. Wants to know if you've ever regretted taking one track in life instead of another. If you could go back, would you switch tracks or keep chugging along the one you're on? Thinks everyone has. No one's perfect every time. Seems like the world came out of its rut and is chugging toward higher ground again. Can't thank you enough for hitting the brakes and working to turn the world chug around. But let's not get derailed. Says he's surprised to see anyone this far out, but sometimes the wrong train does take you to the right station. As you can see, he didn't plan to make a stop here, but now that he had to, he's really happy to see you. He says his name is Choo Choo. He's been off track since the world started dying, but he's trained his mind to stay positive regardless of the situation.
So now I found another character who's probably going to give me some quests to do and maybe be able to unlock the ability to use his train, because there are a variety of vehicles you can use to get around. So we'll pause here and then I'll get us to end it with some combat for you guys. But I just wanted you guys to check out the dialogue and see what it's like talking to characters in the world. Alright guys, I found a creature to fight right here. And it'll display their level. I'm currently level 30, so he's a few levels below me. So there's me using my magic abilities. And then you also have melee combat, but I also have there's a variety of guns you can use as well. So you can play a variety of styles. And there's a huge variety of enemies too, and they all have their own strengths and weaknesses. And they all will take, different tactics to take down. Like, I really love this mace I have because it has ice damage, but it can also freeze your enemies at times. There we go. So we killed him, so now we've earned more XP from that, which is really sweet. As I was talking about, there's a variety of vehicles for you to get, but they're only in specific areas. Like, there's a mech vehicle, there's boats. I also have a blimp that you can fly around in, which is really cool. And there's other mounts and stuff for you to find in the game, which is really neat. So, I'm going to go to the area where they have the blimp real quick and show you guys that. Another thing that's cool is that the world has different areas. So, like, this is like a desert region. There's a snow area. There's that grassy area. So there's a variety of locations for you to play in. Ooh, some more enemies. And some enemies, like that, will actually have loot on them to find, so it's pretty cool. Sometimes you'll drop something useful for you. But the last thing I wanted to show you guys, though, is this cool blimp that you get to use, that you unlock by finding one of the characters. And in this area, you're able to traverse the land in a cool flying vehicle. So it's really neat. There's certain areas, like I said, you can't take this to every part of the map. There's certain areas that they're restricted to, but different areas have different vehicles you can use in them, which is really cool. And it's just a really fun game. I've been having a lot of fun with Biomutant. The game got a lot of hate when it was released, but it was created by a very small team of just a handful of people. I think they did a fantastic job and crafted a really fantastic world. The game has had several patches since it was released that fixed a lot of issues, but I definitely think you guys should check out Biomutant if you never have. It's a really awesome game. Hope you guys enjoyed that look at Biomutant. I've been having a lot of fun with the game, again, playing through it. This is one of those games that I take my time with. I don't rush through it. One feature that I really love about this is that every area has a checklist. So if you're trying to 100% like I'm doing, it'll tell you what all the collectibles in the area are and what little mission things you have to do. And then on the map, the area will get checked off and will change color so that you know that everything is completed there. So if you want to go through and loot the entire map, which you can do, it lets you know that. And that's something I really enjoy. And I definitely would say give this one a chance. It's a very cheap game. It's not very expensive. You can get it on their PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Xbox One, Series X, PC. It's even on the Nintendo Switch now. There's a few little cosmetic DLCs you can buy for it, but they're really not necessary. You can pick from a variety of different kinds of creatures you want to play. They have a different look to them. You can adjust the color of them, which is really cool because they mutate. And you also can choose what kind of player you want to be. Do you want to have like magic abilities? You want to be more like Kung Fu, more of a melee character with weapons and stuff. So you can actually tailor your class based on how you want to play the game, which is really cool. It's got good music. It's amazing. It's got great graphics. Voice acting is really good in it as well. There's a lot of, like, the creatures make, like, mumble voices, but there's a narrator, which is actually your little robot that you have with you. He actually narrates and talks for everybody, and I think he does a really good job with it. It's definitely a game I think you guys should check out, check out Biomutant. I'd love to know your guys' thoughts, though, guys. Have you ever played Biomutant before? What kind of games have you guys been playing lately? And if you guys have a recommendation on a game you think I might enjoy, let me know, as I'm always looking for new games to play and experience. I want to thank you guys for checking out this video. Take care. You guys have an amazing day, and Sleepy will see you next time.